Habit formation by far is one of the most difficult thing to do for any individual. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Swati Arora, famously known as Mind Coach Swati, and today I'm here talking about yet another interesting topic about the world of habits. Now, we've just begun the new year, we've just started the new year, and everyone is talking about habits. Someone wants to form new habits, someone wants to get rid of their old bad habits. Everyone is talking about habit formation. But let me tell you, everyone is aware that habit formation by far is one of the most difficult thing to do for any individual. Although there are small things, but just to add those small tiny habits in your daily repertoire also becomes such a big Herculean task that people fail midway. And that is exactly what I'm going to talk about today. People fail because they do not know the science behind habit formation. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this video today. I'm going to refer to this game changing book that I've been reading, which is Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book really is a game changer because this talks about a lot of things about why habits are formed, how you can form habits for yourself in the most organic way, which can be with you for lifelong. So I'm going to share with you some very interesting statistics which he's shared in this book. And so stay with me right till the end. And you know the drill. Before we go ahead, click on the subscribe button and click on the bell icon as well so that you can get access to all my videos right up front. So let's dive deep into the topic now. So in this video today, friends, I'm going to share with you 6 elementary principles that James Clear has, kind of talked about in this book. Although this book completely is a game changer, and I would strongly recommend each one of you to go ahead and read the entire book. But I'm going to give you a little synopsis of 6 elementary principles that he shared in this book, right for you. So the first thing that he says is that tiny changes lead to remarkable results. Tiny changes, and that's what he calls atomic habits. Small steps taken in the right direction give you massive results. That's the compound effect of the small changes in your life. Do not need to do any massive changes, just the small changes, but on a consistent basis will lead to massive results. Now, let me give you an example. For example, a very typical thing that we all want to do in the first of the month is the first month of the year is we want to get into shape, and we all have our resolutions. So if you resolve that I will go to the gym every single day and work out for 1 hour at least for 6 days a week, let me tell you, my friends, it's not going to happen, especially if you're not already following that repertoire. But what do you do instead? Take up a small habit. Take up a simple small habit of, say, walking every day 15 minutes in the morning or in the evening. 15 minutes walk every single day for all 6 days. What's going to happen? After 1 month, you will see, if you're consistently doing that, after 1 month, you will see a change in your body, overall personality. You will see a change in your metabolism, in your eating habits, in your stamina, in your energy levels. And also you'll be able to get a little bit more accustomed to the idea of walking. Then second month, you can slowly increase it from 15 minutes to 30 minutes, so on and so forth. And then you can, see massive results happening overall in your lifestyle. So that's the first thing that he says. Tiny changes, atomic habits lead to massive results in your life. The next point is James Clear says that before forming any habit, you must understand the habit forming loop. Okay, the habit loop, which is of 4 steps. Every habit is built and developed into these 4 steps, which is cue, craving, response, and reward. Now, how does it go? Cue is basically a cue or a visual cue or a physical cue to actually get you triggered, something which triggers your motivation, right? Which will get your habit started. Craving is that motivation factor or the driving factor because of which you are going to perform that act or that habit. Response is actually going ahead and performing that habit. It should not be difficult enough so that you have to force yourself to do that. And the reward is finally, once you actualize, once you do the habit, it should be rewarding enough, it should be satisfying enough to meet up to your desire. okay, to meet up to your craving. Now, let me give you an example. Simple habit of reading a book. Okay, if you want to get into a reading habit, what will be your cue? What will be your trigger? That your book should be in your near visibility. It should not be under the couch or hidden somewhere in your library. You will never be able to go ahead and get motivated to find the book and read it. Okay, so if you want to start reading, you need to keep your book in and around your area only, maybe in your dinner, on your reading table or your workspace area, whatever. The second is craving. What is the motivation factor for you to start reading that book? The motivation factor could be, I will be putting up some content on online after reading this book. I will be talking about this book to my friends and colleagues so that I can get appreciation from them. That could be the motivation factor. Or a motivation factor could be more learning, more knowledge, or spending time, just reading the book. Could be anything. The response is basically getting up and reading the book. That is your final acting point. But again, should not be very difficult for you to do that. And the fourth one is reward. If you read the book finally, but you don't get the kind of reward that you were expecting, if your content is not being realized, or if you don't know how to talk about that content and people don't applaud you, then the habit will not be formed. You will not be doing it repetitively. So you eliminate any of these four steps in your habit formation loop, you will never be able to have this habit formed, which means if your cue is not there, you will never be able to start the habit. If your craving is not there, which is a motivation factor is not there, you will never be able to go ahead and do the habit. If the response is very difficult, if the activity performance is very difficult to do, you will never be, intrigued, or you'll never push yourself to do that task. And if it's not rewarding enough, you'll never repeat it over and over again to make it a habit. So in a nutshell, what James Clear says is that your habit has to be packed with all these four things: cue, craving, response, and reward. The next point that James talks about is about forming habits using the identity-based habits. Now, identity-based habits mean basically not forming habits on what you are, but the person or the identity what you want to be. For example, if you have a role model, okay, if you have a role model, say for example, a motivational speaker or a public speaker or something, and you want to become that person, rather than saying that, what I can rattle speeches or I can go on and narrate scripts, etc. to myself, I would follow exact principles of what habits he or she is following, and I would see his life story and see what kind of habits made him successful at that particular point. What I will do, I will then follow the body language, the posture, the gesture, the visualizing, the presentations, the speech, the narrative, the diction, everything, right? So basically what I'm doing is I'm actually making myself, I'm working on myself, I'm doing a mindset shift where I'm not working on who I am right now, but who I want to be, the person or the identity that I want to be. That gets me into an identity-based habit formation loop. And that's something which is going to be much more positive and powerful because it's driving you. The motivation factor is already there with you. The next one is habit stacking. I particularly love this one. Now, this is a very interesting and a very easy way to get a new habit inculcated in your old routine. Okay, whenever we want to put new habits into our regime, what happens is we wonder, where do we have the time to fit in into our existing routine? Where do we have the time to fit in a new and another habit? This is the best way to do it. For example, I'll give you an example. For example, if you want to get into journaling, okay, writing journals, maybe a gratitude journal or a goal journal or anything like that, early in the morning, and you already have a morning routine. So what do? For example, I have a morning routine. I get up, I have my black coffee, I do my meditation, I get up and I hit the gym. Now I get ready and I hit the gym, right? Now in middle, where do I have the time to do this journaling? I can't say that I will not do it. I can't say that I can do it towards the end. I want to do it here only. So what do? I pick up my habits. I look at the chain of the habits, right? Coffee, meditation, put my journaling in between, say 2 minutes of journaling or 3 minutes of journaling, then get up, get ready, and then hit the gym. So what happens? It becomes a part of my muscle memory. I'm not putting any effort of straining my mind every single day. Where do I put the journaling routine? Where do I do it? In my free time, in my late evening time, I just have seamlessly pushed it into my daily routine. I've added this new habit, stacked it up with my existing habit to make it seamless, to make it integratable, and to make it implement on the very first day. And as long as you're doing your earlier habits, you will continue to do this new habit as well, seamlessly without giving any strain to your mind. This is the best way to formulate any new habit. Stack it up with your old habit and it will be part of your system. Another powerful thing that James Clear says is that design your environment or your surrounding to meet your habits or for habit formation. A lot of times people do not maintain habits or are not able to conform to habits is because their environment is not conducive for that. If they want to build healthy eating habits and they have cookies lying in the kitchen right in the front door, they will be able to, pick up that and eat that during the day. But if you don't have them at all, what are you going to have? You're going to eat on healthy snacking if you make sure that your healthy snacks are available at your visibility. So become an architect of your environment. Don't become a victim of your environment, is what he says. I repeat that again. Become an architect of your environment, not a victim of your environment. Which means what? Giving you examples. Make your environment or your cues big in your environment so that your habit is formed. For example, if you want to learn guitar, keep your guitar in the middle of the living room so that whenever you're passing by, you know it's there and you can start practicing. For example, if you want to drink more water through the day, keep water bottles filled up and keep them around your desk table, your working table, so that you know how to, they have to sip some water through the day. For example, if you want to remember taking your pills in the middle of the night before you sleep, keep them at your bedside table so that you know that you have to have them before you sleep. For example, if you want to get into a reading habit, make sure that before you make your bed in the day, during the day, keep your book towards, at the pillow side, so that when you come back from work and you're going to sleep, your book is ready for you so that you don't have to search for it. So make your cue big enough so that it's there in your environment and you can quickly pick that up and you can enjoy your habit and keep that forming every day. So design your environment to have successful habits for you. And finally, a last thing that he says, which I also agree with, is that you have to celebrate small wins. Whenever you're up for a challenge, whenever you're taking up a new habit, don't wait for the final result to happen. Acknowledge yourself, give yourself a pat on the back, or reward yourself for the small wins that you're doing. For example, right now we are doing a 21-day challenge. Me and my community are doing a 21-day challenge. Every weekend, when you're completing that 1 week's task, reward yourself. Go for a cheat day. Reward yourself. For example, you've been kind of restricting yourself from Netflix and all those social media platforms. Over the weekend, give yourself a 2 hour leeway to go ahead and binge watch on television or on social media. For example, if you've been dieting for the entire week, you've been maintaining strict diet for yourself, over the weekend, reward yourself by giving yourself a cookie or a ice cream or something of that sort. So reward yourself. Celebrating small wins will motivate you, will boost you to keep that habit going. Do not jail yourself in a habit. But yes, if you want to make that habit a repetitive habit, you must reward small wins as well. So that's it from my side, friends. A transformative peek into how you can transform your life and reality by adopting atomic habits, courtesy to James Clear. Now, this was an interesting book. That's why I thought I should share some interesting glimpse with you. If you liked the video and you found it helpful, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so that you can get access to all my videos on career and personal development as well. Until next time, keep thriving to get on more habits and build new good habits for yourself. I'll see you next time in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye.